Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my YouTube podcast, Spiritual Sense. Today is Sundays, and on Sundays I do what I refer to as light and dark reading. Well, I have since changed that to Illumination and Revelation readings, which essentially is a tarot card reading. I like to start off by saying that this podcast is for entertainment, informational, and sometimes educational purposes. It just depends on which podcast or what episode you may listen to. I do have another podcast here on YouTube, which is my holistic health and wellness um, podcast, and in that podcast, I have video presentation where I've done about the chakras, um, natural home remedies, and things of that nature on that particular podcast. And then I have this one, which is my most popular one or my most favorite one, which is Spiritual Sense. All right. So before I proceed, like to say that I consider myself to be a gypsy, nomad, psychic light, intuitive, spiritualist, self-proclaimed parapsychologist, magic mind medium. All right. I'm going to begin with my prayer. Father, supreme being of all being, thank you for waking me, family, and friends alike up this morning to see another day. Continue to bless us and shield us from any injury, harm, or danger. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. As it is said, it is so. I declare and I decree. So give me infinite wisdom, knowledge, capability, and understanding as I proceed with this reading. So I did mention, I had an inkling that I should speak on a topic today, but I don't know if I'm going to get around to that topic actually today. It may be within the next few days. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So I'm deciding that I'm going to work with, I'm not going to do the urban tarot in terms of the reading today. I'm going to work with my Mrs. Cleo tarot today in regards to the light reader. I'm kind of gonna lay off the urban tarot for today. Alrighty. So let's proceed. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull out my cards. So for those who may be listening in or will be tuning in, tarot, I think in order to understand tarot, you have to actually get into tarot. There is a spiritual communication tool by way of God, and I do believe that He does have, as they say, works in mysterious ways or strange ways of conveying a message. Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and I'm going to pull out my cards. One, two, three. I'm going to do a six card. Four, five, and six. Six card. Six card. All right, so six, five, four, three, two, and this is card one. The High Priestess card. High Priestess card. Now, so what is the representation of the High Priestess card? Well, divine feminine energy, number one. Now let me see if I'm able to pull it up here on this. Divine feminine energy, intuition, spirituality, and emotions. It has the number two there. Two represents unity, balance, and partnership. So I think this reading is in regards to somebody in relation to perhaps, and you're gonna hear me speak about some of the same similar things because that's just the way it works. Um, Because I have the sun card turning upside down. I don't know if you are into some type of it's not a traditional belief, is what I feel. It's not a traditional belief. I don't know what to call it. What would you say? Scientology, Satanism, Wiccan, something of of that nature. I do have those topics on my if you go through, it's not on the podcast, it's not on the YouTube podcast, but if you go on my regular YouTube channel, I have spoken on these topics. So it could be in relation to one of those topics. I feel as though this reading is in relation to someone in regards to your belief system, whether you are atheist, agnostic, Wiccan, witch. Could very well be that you're a witch. This is what I have that crosses over the food card, um, or the barrier or obstacle. The fool card, let's get to the pool. New beginnings, innocence, opportunity, leap of faith. All right. So could this very well be that some things unfavorably happen as a result of some type of witchcraft or something that you did? Or what have you, is something along the lines of occultism, is what I want to say that this reading is on. And you have to be very careful when you are into any type of sorcery or Wiccan or whatever the case may be, because whatever energy you put out there, you've got to be prepared for it to reciprocate back. So I want to say that this reading is applicable to someone or applies to someone who has had such as that. Oftentimes when you have bad intentions within your heart or what have you, it will manifest itself in paranormal activities. So say for instance, if you're someone that's paranoid, um, that's God letting you know that your thoughts are being projected in the atmosphere. Particularly now, if you are someone who's is you may be empath, so you may be picking up on what is going on with someone else. But if you're someone that's consuming your thoughts or what have you, it will manifest itself into your atmosphere, if that makes sense to anybody. Okay? And so you got to be very careful with your thoughts. You got to be very careful. And I honestly feel as though this is applicable to someone who may be in a situation that they don't truly want to be in. And I think out of curiosity, whoever you are paired with do things to you just to see what power you have in terms of the occult. Like they're toying with the occult. Because it's a difference between someone being a witch and then someone made to delve into witchcraft or sorcery out of curiosity. Now, we all will be curious about um, the occult. That's fine, but you don't want to play with something that you don't understand. Is the point? You know, there's a saying in the Bible: "Test the spirit with the spirit." Some people take that. Now, don't get me wrong. We all want to have good judgment. We all want to um, you know, get a little bit more clarity as to if this person is fake, phony, or what have you. But when you go out of your way to do some things that no one told you to do, that is the test in itself. And I think this reading is applicable to someone who delved off into something that they could not handle, if that makes sense. Above the issue, I have Page of Cups. So this lets me know that this is somebody that has some Portuguese activities that are occurring with you, and no one believes you or no one cares, is the point. And why is that? Because I feel as though it's whoever you are paired with. is toying with you, and somehow you are um, cursed in your mind or your thought process to where you don't even see it. It's the person that sits right there beside you, is what it lets me know. Because page cards are messengers that bring newness and promise. These cards can represent children or young people. I believe it's Portuguese activities, if that makes sense. And it's to tell on the thought process. So oftentimes you'll find that certain energies will be with you just to make you appear to be something you're not, or to make you appear to be incompetent and stable and mature, or whatever the case may be. I think this is what this reading is applicable to get you to think or do something that is unfavorable, to self curse yourself. And I think you have self curse yourself by allowing yourself to continue to be in this situation, which you yourself know is not favorable. All right, if that makes sense. So something lets me know you delved off into a little bit of witchcraft, and right now you have some paranormal activities that are occurring with you. That's what it lets me know. All right. Now to the left, I have two of swords. Two of swords. Again, unity. So I believe you and this person paired together because of this curiosity. And as you can see, how this person here got their hands covered up. So I think this person is a representation of you. You see how you have the you here, the moon, a representation of you, right? If that makes sense to anybody. And as a result, you are these things are occurring with you because of that. Instead of just letting this person or whoever that is in your space go, God will show you how He will work on the mind and curse your thought and thinking process when you know better, but you don't do better. If that makes sense to anybody. All right. Now this is the reason I have Seven of Cups here. So this reading has cups, feelings, and emotions. I think is driven creativity, relationships, intuition, and compassion. So again, I believe a lot of it has to do with your relationship. Seven relates to insight, spirituality, and contemplation. Your thoughts, like we have here, swords relates to the mind and intellect, action, knowledge, power, and change. So it's something in regards to your thoughts. And this right here is the reason because of your feelings, how you think about things and how you feel about things. Now we do have the sun card turning the opposite. So turning the opposite means that it's contrary to. So that being said, if the sun card represent happiness, positivity, success, vitality, and clarity, well then that means that these are the things that the person that I feel as though you're paired with does not want you to have. They don't want you to be happy. They do not want you to be positive, successful, vitality, or clarity. They want to keep you shrouded in this, what I feel is Portuguese type of activities, is what it lets me know. Um, Doing things that is unfavorable. You and in essence, what you're doing is self cursing yourself to where you don't even see it. You don't even see it for what it is. That's what it lets me know. Now let's get a little bit about love. Let's go into the love department and see how do you. I'm not too consumed with um biblical card pulled out. So let's go ahead. We're going to pull out past life. Let's pull out one and two more cards. Right? All right. So we have lessons and blessings. All right. So I do believe it's a lesson to you, and you're blocking your blessings. That's what it lets me know. You see how you have to watch there. You need to watch what you're doing when you get off into um, this type of activities. Biblical. biblical. I honestly feel as though when I say biblical, look, put it this way: it is a tack to get monies. That's what I feel. In other words, playing on your psychology to get you to bring in monies is what it lets me know. Financial. That's what it lets me know. Now, I'm going to pull out the love cards. Now, I've already said how I feel it relates to your relationship, but the main thing is how you feel about yourself is the main corporate. Not necessarily. I mean that is a given or what have you, but ultimately, how do you value and how do you feel about yourself is the main thing. It's what I feel. I'm gonna pull this one here, the one that has this here. How do you feel about yourself? Ultimately, is what I feel. Um, Source or God or whomever wants it to be known in terms of this reading today. Feel like you have delved off into some witchcraft, and I think it perpetuated a self curse. That's what I feel. All right, this is what I feel. So I have Cupid's arrow. Somebody sent this person to you. I don't know, and I think it was based on curiosity. Is what it lets me know. All right. Somebody sent this person to you based on curiosity, is what it lets me know, right? Based on curiosity, how you think, how you feel, just to get you to do some things unfavorable. I have a girl with a snake. Um, do I feel that you are empath? I feel as though you have self cursed yourself is what I believe. Like you cannot just jump up and just run after everything that's popular or what everybody's doing, because oftentimes it may seem as though what they're doing is nothing and it's easy. Um, that's the way the energy space would like to present it, that it's easy and easy breeze or whatever what have you, until you get in, then you say, oh boy, have I been deceived, of course. So I think this person sent somebody, energy spaces is what it lets me know, sent this person to you to mock you, and in turn you end up doing some things unfavorably and curse your thought process, if that makes sense to you, to make you appear to be um, unstable, incapable, and deluded. And I do believe that you do have some paranormal activities, Portuguese activities around. All right. And that is to convey how a person feels and thinks. In other words, this person was brought to you just to show how you would act in certain circumstances. In other words, to try to prove a point about you. Character assassinators is what I like to refer to them as. So I have the dragonfly here. It says, be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. So, in order for you to heal, you're going to have to get rid of that low vibrational energy space. All right. Um, so let's look up the significance of the dragonfly. Let me see if I can pull up my spirit totem guide here. Let's see if the dragonfly is on here. We're going to read the significance of the dragonfly. Mm, All right. Let's see. Okay, again, this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes. It is for entertainment purposes. So it doesn't look okay. I do have the dragonfly here. What is the significance of dragonfly? Let's see what it mentions. Okay, so it says the dragonfly totem carries the wisdom of transformation and adaptability in life. As spirit animal, the dragonfly is connected to the symbolism of change and light. When the dragonfly shows up in your life, it may remind you to bring a bit more lightness and joy into your life. Those who have this animal as totem may be inclined to delve deep into their emotions and shine their true colors. So again, it mentions the dragonfly is generally associated with the symbolic meaning of transformation. Here are some common meanings for this animal totem: change and transformation, adaptability, joy, lightness of being, symbol of the realm of emotions, invitation to dive deeper into your feelings, being on the lookout for illusions and deceits, whether are external or personal, connection with nature, spirits, fairy realms. So again, um, it's about wisdom and change. I'm not going to read all of this because we are still doing, the reading. But ultimately, I feel as though you was a bit narcissistic, is what it lets me know, and your thoughts. Just put it this way, I feel as though whoever this reading is applicable to, I think of the song The Great Pretender, or even the diagnosis of imposter syndrome. And I think the person that you are with came to prove a point about that. And that's why they brought this strike to you, to get you to strike out, to be contrary to. And you got to realize that you have energy spaces out there that looks to character assassinate. That means to make a mockery out of you, and then they sit back and. So this is what I feel as though this is. As a result, you have ended up doing some things unfavorably, I feel, which has circumvented some paranormal Portuguese activities, is what it lets me know, if that makes sense to anybody. So let's go ahead and get a little bit about your thoughts, faith, and belief. So in other words, you are really a self-fulfilling prophecy, if that makes sense to anybody. Kind of backward. Like you're not able to see it for what it is. See things for what it is. You see it in a wrong way, if that makes sense to you. Which is a self curse. You have to be very careful. That is a self curse. All right. All right. So I'm going to lay the cards as they may. Um, I have six of wands in the reverse. Um, Six relates to harmony, community, and cooperation. Wands relates to willpower and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. Because it's in the opposite, I'm gonna read it as a nine. Wisdom, fruition, and achievement. So we want to pray for wisdom for you. Wisdom will come for you, come towards you, because I do believe that what is coming towards you is something to come towards your life and willpower. That's what I feel. Ultimately, something is coming towards you in terms of your life and willpower, if that makes sense to you. Because I have the death card. That's why I'm saying it as such. have the death card here. We know what death is. You see the raven there. You see the people with the heads on the little spears or what have you. So, what is death? Loss, endings, rebirth, change, and transformation. I do believe this is death as a biological death, is what it lets me know. I do. And when you see that the angel of death is coming towards you, you need to be very, very, very aware right now. I'm not saying this to make you afraid. I'm not. I'm saying this to you to make you very conscientious because we have 13 here, 1 and 3. I'm gonna read it 1 and 3. Beginnings, opportunities, individuality. I do believe this is an attack towards you personally. I have 3 groups, expansion, and expression. That's what I feel. You have to be very careful. I have the symbol of Pluto, not Pluto, Scorpio. So I don't know if this is someone that's a Scorpio or whatever. You know, scorpions are venomous. So I have to be very careful of that. The characteristics of Scorpio is idealistic, alert, driven, jealous, vindictive, clingy, rules the house of death and rebirth. So I believe that there is an attack that's coming towards you, the angel of death. You need to, at this time, be very conscientious of everything in your life, aspect wise. Don't make no impulsive decisions, right? Be careful where you go, who you partake around, is what I feel. I have Pluto here. I empower. I empower. So see, some these are some of the things you need to take note of. Sex, death, obsession, underworld, regeneration, subconscious is linked to the reproductive function, gonads, and cell production. Rules the eighth house. Now, what is the eighth house? We're going to get in depth with this because I do believe when energy spaces are coming towards you, this is not to make you afraid. This is to make you aware because death comes in cycles. It does. And you will know spirit. You will know spirit before it knocks at your door. You will know when spirit is coming towards you to destroy you. You will know it. All right? Whether it's the silent killer, as we know as heart disease, whether it's God forbid, a car accident or whatever the case may be, you will know when death is around the corner. Just pay attention. So it says that, and you have these distractors who likes to come in and to distract you from seeing death or what have you. Now, hey, if it's meant, it's meant. And what does that mean? We cannot foresee everything because I do believe that ultimately when it's your time, it's your time. But you don't want to um, just let the angel of death just come in and just take you away from this space when you have been shown your mission or your vision of what's to come in the next 30 years, 40, 50 even. All right? So the eighth, excuse me, the eighth house is a mysterious sector that rules birth. All right? Because as I mentioned, it's linked to the reproductive function, gonads, and cell production. All right? Birth, death, sex, transformation, mysteries, merge energies, and bonding at the deepest level. The eighth house also rules other people's property and money, such as real estate, inheritance, and investment. So you want to be very, very mindful as to who you have your energy invested in, if that makes sense to you. All right? This is the cycle of life. This is it. All right. I have biblical here. So it could very well be a verse or something that is you are dealing with that is similarly to a biblical figure within the Bible. Because again, I have the biblical card to show up here. Now we have 7, 7, 7. Seven again, insight, spirituality, and contemplation. We have swords. So I believe this attack is coming towards your mind and intellect or what have you, but ultimately your life. Because we have the wands cards that show up a couple of times here as well. Swords relates to the mind and the intellect, action, knowledge, power, and change. So this masculine energy is what this seven of swords represents, right? That masculine energy. Well, the swords chords is a masculine energy. This person could very well be an air sign, because the swords um, corresponds to what? The air sign. Well, the air signs are Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius. So can this very well be um, right? You have to be very careful. You have to be very careful. I honestly believe as though I'm just going to put it out there. I feel as though I'm not going to do a your soul's purpose card, and I'm not going to do an angel card. I believe this person is into sorcery as well. You may not be aware of it. Like this person possibly used you to prove a point to somebody. I'm not even going to do a Helen Oracle. That's what it lets me know. Who is curious around you? That's what you need to find out. Who is the curious? Who is the one that sits back and study and wonders about things? That's going to tell a tale as to what this energy space is coming from. The curious. Who is curious that's around you? Like who is invested in you personally to want to know that? And it's going to tell you where a lot of that energy is coming from. I do believe that this person is into sorcery. I believe this person is highly skilled into sorcery. And you delved in and thinking you was teaching them, but they was already skilled in it. That's what it lets me know. They was already skilled in what you thought you. In other words, you thought you was as they would say, thought you was doing something, and come to find out you was out skilled. You don't have the skill that this person has. You don't have the skill that this person has, is what it lets me know. This is a major arcana card. I do believe I in a situation such as this, I really cannot tell you how you can handle this situation, right? So I'm not even going to read Healer Oracle card. Five, I think there's you have to be very careful. I get the number five here. Five relates to stress, conflict, and instability, right? You got to be very careful right now. And I'm not telling you this to make you afraid. I'm telling you this so you can see whoever this person is. I believe they are a deceiver. They could very well be a religious figure. I don't know if you was in a church or church setting or went to a church or whatever the case may be, and they set out to make an example out of you. So it may not necessarily be that you are in a relationship, like a loving relationship with somebody. It could have been somebody that you confided with, like indulged some personal secrets, and in turn, they began to surveillance you and they sought you up. Is what it lets me know. You have to be very careful as to what space you go to, because everybody is not for your like-mindedness is the point. And I believe that this person is felt that there was deception within you, and they was going to expose you, and they did. And in turn had you to read some verses which caused you to turn against yourself and cursed your thoughts and perpetuated this paranormal activity. That's what I'm going to say. I feel as though what has happened with you. I'm getting more clarity on it. That's what I feel. And you're gonna find that there's many people that are in this political and I don't want nobody to feel like I'm picking on church folk or anything like that because it's all based on the heart. Everybody in church are not like that. You understand? And I want that to be known. But you do have those who are not happy. And I think this is one of those culprits. So I get the Hierophant card here. That's what I feel. That's what I have. Hierophant card. I have my innate knowing. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. It says the lore of the Arcana inspiration. Again, I want to stress that this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes. It is for entertainment purposes. So these are my opinions and it is optional, okay? Um, letter E. Number 5. So it says E equals 5 and expresses universal law, ruler of the infinite, manifestation of the being in the unity of substance in the divine world. In the intellectual world, it is religion, the relationship of the absolute being with the relative being, from the infinite to the finite. In the physical world, it is aspiration communicated by the vibrations of heavenly fluids. It is the proof of man in front of liberty of action in the unbreakable circle of universal law. So it goes on to mention that the Arcana 5 is depicted as the Hierophant, master of sacred mysteries. This prince of occult doctrine is seated between two columns of the sanctuary. So again, I believe this is possibly, I believe this person has a dual theistic theme about them. Like they may be a preacher or a pastor, but they also are into some sort of sorcery, if that makes sense to you. Um, so it goes on to say he is leaning on three barred cross and is tracing the sign of silence on his breast with the index finger of the other hand. Two prostrate men lie at his feet, one dressed in red, the other in black. The Hierophant, supreme organ of sacred science, represent the genes of the good inspirations of the spirit and the conscious. His gestures invites one to concentrate in order to hear the voice of the heavens in the silence of the flesh's passions and instincts. The right column symbolizes divine law, the left one, the freedom to obey and disobey. The three-barred cross is the emblem of God penetrating into three worlds. In order to make all the manifestations of universal life flower, the two prostrate men represent the genes of light and the genius of dark, both of whom obey the master of the Arcana. Remember, O son of earth, before saying whether a man is happy or unhappy, it is necessary to know what use he has made of his will. Since every man created his life in the image of his works, the genius of good is to your right, and that of evil is to your left. Their voice only extends to your conscious, absorb it, and it will reply. All right? So, that being said, we're going to say that the positive is modesty, piety, clemency, right? Relief from trouble, spiritual guide, the wise man to whom one turns, priest, doctor, lawyer, religion, family, tradition, inspiration, and magnetism. So again, is someone all of those groups? Well, I just mentioned to you who I felt that someone was. in regards to this. I do believe that there was a little bit of the deception on your end, and they used you to show character, if that makes sense to you. Now, this is what I think that comes towards you. We have this excessive generosity, kindness ill-worded, loss of faith in self and in others. So this person truly could care less, is what it lets me know. Loss of one's own morality, vulgar and material actions, rancor, intolerable, enmity. That's what we have here. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull out my dark cards because I do believe there is a message here that needs to transpire. Um, I do. Uh, I do. I'm gonna pull out two of these of my dark tarot. I'm gonna just pull one from the top and one from the bottom. How about that? Okay, dokie. So I have the World card, and then I have here. I honestly feel as though it may appear that it's coming from everywhere. I feel as though it's in the mind ultimately, but it's coming from whoever you have had your faith belief in, right? I have completion, accomplishment, fulfillment, and wholeness. That's what I feel. And then I have this card here. You're not complete, is what it lets me know. You don't feel complete. And I think this person made you to feel as though you wasn't complete without them, right? That's what it lets me know. Then I have this here, which is the Ten of Swords. Renewal, fulfillment, and a cycle of swords. So I honestly feel as though things you have to be very careful when you delve off into something you don't know about. And I'm going to say the biblical text is one of those, is what I'm going to tell you. Because if you're not right, it's going to present itself. I have the book moon dream word. So something lets me know that whoever this is came to you, are able to read your mind. You do have people out here. I was telling my son that the other day about um, being at a store. This about a year ago, and this is no lie, no exaggeration. And that's what's going to prompt me to speak on the topic that I'm gonna speak about in the next few days. About I'm gonna call it spiritual scanners, mind readers, right? So I'm at a store, and I'm getting ready to check out at this store, and as I'm sitting there, the person begins to speak, and ultimately God puts a vision on this person's forehead, and I'm able to read this person's forehead. That is no lie. And I'm saying to myself, I don't care anything about this person like that. I'm trying to get out this store. I'm trying to buy, my food because I was hungry, right? And come on out this store is what I'm trying to do, right? And I wasn't even thinking anything or what have you, but somehow I was able to see a screen on this person's forehead, and it showed me on that screen about this person. And I will speak about this a little bit later on about spiritual scanners, mind readers. That's what I'm going to title my topic, but it'll be later on. So there's three negative energies here. Three negative energies here is what it lets me know. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my moonology and get that ready. I don't know how to I don't know how to guide you in a situation where it is you're dealing with a strong person. I've been wanting to tell you I'm not qualified to work in a lot of divination because you're gonna realize you're gonna have to respect the art of occultism. Don't be curious in certain things. Like I think we all have a curiosity, but don't be too investigative. You want to be this type of person. You got to be careful as to who you allow in your space when you're doing this type of things because you got some energy spaces out there they can damn you to hell, and that is the God's honest truth. They have bewitchment, enchanting, and abilities and capabilities. And I'll just put it out there. You will be bewitched. There is a such thing as being bewitched. All right? So it shows me Knight of Swords. If you're able to view that, Hari's Knight of Swords. Now again, swords relate to the mind, intellect, action, knowledge, power, and change. So it says destroys and burns all enemies when requested. Speaks of the creation of the world, tells the past and future. So I honestly believe as though this person is, as you know, I kept hearing the song, "Oh, I'm the great pretender." That's how I feel about this person. I feel as though this person is a great pretender. Like this person presents in one fashion, but deep down in the side, this person is demonic. And this person has demonic capabilities beyond measure. And, you know, when you are bored and have nothing relevant to do, you will delve off into some things that you don't want to get into, and that is the God's honest truth. And I'm not saying this to push nothing up because I have seen. I'm 45 years old, so I have seen my fair share of things to where I can't speak in hypothetics. I can speak in what I have seen, and if it's something that I have not seen, then I will let you know. Typically, if I can remember. All right. The next card I have here is Queen of Cups, Phoenix. All right. So, of course, cups relates to our feelings and emotion, creativity, relationship, intuition, and compassion. So, we have Queen of Cups, Phoenix. It mentions teaches all sciences, performs wonderful poetry, follows all requests with excellence. So, could this very well be someone? I think they're very eloquent. They're orator, which means that they are charismatic, likable, lovable, even probably humorous. Um, but they are in the sciences. So whoever you would know that is in the field of the sciences, but also work in a biblical aspect, with priests or whomever. I just mentioned that in the Hierophant um, Egyptian tarot family history. All right. The next card I have here is Five of Swords. We have five a couple of times in this reading. Sapnok. It says, if you're able to view that, Sapnok builds high towers, castles, and cities, afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rot and maggots. Oh my God. So I honestly feel as though this person was to see himself and what he did and led many people down the wrong path. You being one of those persons, and some unfavorable things came against it to tell on what exactly this person is doing. If that makes sense, the true nature of what it is that they're doing. It begins to show up as rot and maggots, if that makes sense, meaning to show the authenticity. This person was trying to show you up, and in turn, it backfired on them as well. Right? Okay. I have a new start is coming. So it says new moon. A new start is coming. So my moonology cards again, revelation. Things are going to come for you, even though you're not able to see. You see how this new moon is kind of similar to like an eclipse or what have you. Things are working out favorably for you. Trust and believe it. You know, you may not see it right now, or what have you. It may appear as though it's taking a long time and whatever, what have you. You have to be very careful when you are into the occult and when you are affiliated with those who are into the occult. Now, I do believe that and understand that you cannot possibly know if somebody is deceptive and not forthright in letting you know that they are in the occult. But what you yourself would do is you use your discerning spirit, you know, to guide you to where you are distracted away from that energy. Particularly if you don't necessarily have to interact with it on a more consistent basis, if that makes sense to you. Because put it this way, if I'm a witch, I'm not a dark one, I'm a light witch. That means I do things to get enlightenment from God, right? But when you are a dark witch and you do things to control and to be vindictive and malicious and what have you, you cannot fathom the number of energy spaces that you open yourself up to and become susceptible to. So you have to be very careful with that, okay? So I am going to go ahead and conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense doing the illumination and revelation reading. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.